I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why you should date women who really, 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 really like you. Now, when I was really screwing up badly and didn't know what the fuck I was doing when it came to women and dating, I spent a lot of my time and a lot of my life being hung up on and interested in women that either had no romantic interest in me or very little romantic interest. And sometimes I would waste months and even years of my life fixated on women that were paying absolutely no attention to me. And this is what I see a lot of guys that I first start coaching doing, and I see a lot of this from the guys that I get email from, is they're all fixated on one woman. And the problem is that we've all of us guys have been conditioned since the time we were little boys to believe that if you like a girl, that you just need to like her long enough and hold out long enough, carry the torch long enough, wait till she breaks up with her boyfriend or wait till she gets divorced or whatever it happens to be, and then someday you'll have your shot. And that is the absolute worst thing you can do, because what happens is you put your life on hold for someone who's basically paying no attention to you and you have no chance with. And so when you do that, especially guys that are first finding out about my work, like, here's the deal. If you don't have the success with women that you want, if you can't just walk up to any random woman anywhere at the beach or at the mall or anytime you see a girl you really like and who happens to look over in your direction maybe, and you kind of think that she finds you attractive but you don't know what to do and you're too scared to do it, the problem is you haven't talked to enough women. You haven't interacted with enough women using the skills and techniques that I talk about in my book. And it's only after you've interacted with hundreds of them that you start to see the signs that communicate the difference between a woman you got a chance with and someone who is just being nice to you or somebody who just likes to flirt. But like I said, until you talk to hundreds of them and you've interacted with them and you've asked them out on dates, you've asked for phone numbers, you've gone out on dates, you've made out with them, you've slept with different women, until you've done this enough times, it's like you're not going to know what you don't know. And repetition's the mother of skill. And a lot of guys, it's like, in a way, it's as if they're like, if you've ever seen those vacuum cleaner robots that sweep the floor automatically, it's like if you ever seen one of those when it gets broken, it gets stuck in the corner of a room and it just keeps trying to go forward, but yet it's in the corner of the room and it's not going anywhere. And that's what these guys do, and it's what I used to do, is we stay fixated on someone that we think we may have a chance with, and meanwhile we're surrounded by women who like us, but we discount them and ignore them and we pay no attention because they're not the one. They're not the one that we think we should be with. So I've got this email here from a guy who's in India, and he's basically got fixated on a girl that he really liked, and he's made a lot of mistakes, and I can tell from his email that he spent a lot of time hanging out with her and interacting with her, and not going for the kiss, not making a date, just kind of dicking around, basically beating around the bush. And so it sounds like he's basically got himself put in friendship zone, even though he made out with this particular girl at one point. But the problem is he's totally fixated on her, and so therefore he's not out practicing his skills with other women, and so therefore he's not getting any better. And that's the other side. If you're stuck on a woman but you're not practicing with other women, then your skills aren't going to get any better, and repetition's the mother of skill. And so, I mean, quite frankly, that's why I tell guys to go to the mall and just practice talking and striking up conversations and interacting with people in general. It doesn't have to be women, because once you do it enough, you realize that it's really not a big fucking deal. And if you do it enough, you talk to enough people, it's the same thing for talking to old people or ugly people or pretty girls or mediocre girls. It doesn't matter. I mean, people are people. The idea is you do it enough so you stop treating women like they're celebrities. So he says, there's this girl who approached me first. I have extremely high social value in our college, and I have a reputation for getting lots of girls. That's a great reputation to have. And as a man, you can never have too many beautiful women as friends, even if they're your hot sisters. Because when you're out in public, or you got your arm around some beautiful women that are friends of yours, and you take pictures of that and then you upload that to Facebook, other women that see those pictures assume that you're probably sleeping with some or maybe even all of those women, because that's just the way they think. Because women assume that if you're surrounded by beautiful women, then obviously you must be very successful with beautiful women. And understanding that can really help you on Facebook and online present an image, and so your reputation will precede you. He said, we had a weird relationship for a bit. There wasn't much of a spark in the first few dates. That again is another red flag that you're not paying attention to. We barely talked. Another red flag. During our third date, we had a very public, long, drawn-out makeup session, after which she basically stopped talking to me much. The reason she gave me was that she was creeped out by everybody knowing. And I think that's all BS. And I think what the real reason is that you creeped her out by acting creepy and needy and clingy and getting all hung up on her because you just simply didn't know what to do. And so you convinced her that you weren't much of a catch and that your reputation and the way you were in person didn't match. So even though your reputation preceded you, once you got around her, you communicated to her through your actions that you really weren't that successful with women. And therefore she treats you as a guy who's really not much of a catch in her eyes. And he says, however, I was still interested and I used to message her occasionally without much success. Again, you're chasing somebody who's ignoring you and rejected you. And what I learned and what I teach, it's the best way to be, which is you try twice to make 2 different dates over the course of 2 weeks. And if she turns you down both times, or she says no, but maybe some other time, but she never offers another time, after the second time you ask her out and she gives you that BS, then delete her number and forget about her and move on. And that's where you went wrong, is you kept holding out hope thinking that you were going to make something happen by just continuing to be in her life and pursue her long enough, because that's what they do in the movies. But how's that working for you? It ain't working, is it? So then she told me she was a virgin on dating this other guy. I took it very coolly, which is the only thing you could do. In fact, I was with her and a group of other friends for about 1.5 days, and I was completely unaffected. Then she started talking to me again, long chats, which were fun for both me and her. We started flirting, calling each other mushy nicknames. After a while, we went on this Thursday evening, Sunday late-night trip together for a competition out of the city. 2 other college friends joined us at the event location. There on the 3rd day, I asked her out. You had spent all that time with her and you didn't do anything. I mean, you're around her and you'd already had a makeout session. So at some point while you guys were hanging out and having a good time, you should have said, you know what, I'm kind of bored. I think we need to spice things up a little bit. Why don't you come over here and sit on my lap and let's have another makeout session? Let's just say it like that. And she'll laugh and she's like, come on over here. And just, she'll either do it or she'll come up with excuses like, what are you, chicken? It's like, you know what, maybe I had too many cocktails the last time you made out, and maybe what you're afraid of is I'm going to find out that you really absolutely suck as a kisser. So this is a great opportunity to redeem yourself. Get your ass over here and plant those beautiful lips on me. That's what you want to do. You want to talk and you want to be charming that way. But instead, you sat around and you waiting for the right opportunity. And when you couldn't take it anymore, you asked her out on a date, and she said no. She rejected you because you display too much weak behavior. And plus for the fact, probably she didn't really like you that much to start out with. I mean, you didn't have much chemistry in those first few dates. So he says, so basically when she said no, he was depressed. But in between her dance, like apparently she was dancing, she came up and looked for me and my other male friend. We were sitting alone, and she took us to the dance floor where I ended up dancing and making out with another girl. That's an awesome recovery. That's the best thing you could do. Is, hey, if you can't hook up with her, hook up with somebody else. That's what an alpha male would do. He wouldn't take it personally. He wouldn't get all butthurt that he got rejected. He would just be looking for his next opportunity. It's like, because what you want to know when you meet a woman, are you in or are you out? Do you like me enough or do you don't? I mean, you're not going to ask him that. But using the techniques and skills that I talk about, that's what's going to help you identify, because you don't want to waste your time talking to women that you ain't got no chance with. So he says, after 2 of us were alone together, we had a long conversation where I told her she had been unfair to me. That's more weak behavior. Now you're seeking her approval. Now you're communicating that she diminished you by some of her behavior, when in reality an alpha male never gets diminished by anything any woman does. She said that I had misunderstood her. She just talks like that normally, and I took it as a sign that she likes me. In other words, what she's saying to you is, I like to flirt and I do that with all guys, and you took it that I liked you. And some girls are like that. They'll kiss you and they'll make out. I mean, keep in mind, she's young. You're both in college. She's just out having fun. And so you're getting all wound up and all worked up over this when, like I said, she's just looking to have a good time. And so there's a bunch more information to it that I'm not going to go through. But I mean, the gist of it is, and you can go to my website, just Google this particular article, Date Women Who Really Want You, Coach Corey Wayne, search for that, and it'll come up. And because your problem is that you're fixated on a girl you got no chance with. And so you keep trying to make something happen, and she's just out having fun. So the best thing you can do at this point is do nothing. Don't call her, don't contact her, don't make any attempt to get in touch with her from this point forward. And if she contacts you, then try to make a definite date to get together and meet up for a drink or whatever. And if she won't do it, or she says, let's do it some other time, then just say, great, we'll do it some other time. Or say this, give me a call if you change your mind. That's it. And ignore her. Don't do anything else. And if a couple weeks go by and she does it again, because what would happen in that situation, if she does call you and she does start contacting you again when she hasn't heard from you, it means that maybe there's potentially some chance. And what happens is now you're acting different than you once did. In other words, you're acting strong instead of weak. And so she's going to test you to see if you really are, something's different about you, or maybe she just caught you on a good day. And so she'll keep doing it over and over, and one of two things is going to happen. Either she's going to go out with you and make a definite date, or you'll never hear from her again. And either way, in the meantime, you should be working on dating and going out with as many other women as possible so you can perfect your skills of meeting and dating women and obviously seducing them. Because once you do it enough, you get to the point where it's like playbook. It's just, you do the same thing with all women. Not that you take them to the exact same places, but the process is the same. The process of seduction is the same. And I don't care if you're in India or the West. It doesn't matter. All women respond to the same emotional stimuli. And so by becoming successful with other women, even if you're really not that into them, that's okay, because it builds your confidence and it causes you to become good at using these skills. And so when you naturally just bump into a really beautiful woman, you're not overwhelmed, but you don't think it's a big deal, and you'll treat her the same as every other woman. And that's the key to getting the really hot women, is that you treat them the same as the ones you're really not that into. But you got to learn the process. Repetition is the mother of skill. So get out there, get busy practicing. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located in the Wibia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you got a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 3 or 4 paragraphs max detailing your situation. And just give me several days to get back to you, because I get a lot of email from the internet. I also get plenty of it from my paying phone coaching customers, and I'm going to focus on their emails first for obvious reasons, but be patient, and I will get back to you. And if you'd like to talk to me right away so I can help you with a situation or a specific challenge you're having, click the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions for booking a paid phone coaching session with yours truly. And I will talk to you soon.